The transition to secondary school. A critical reflection and summary of the report, What Australian Students Say About Transition to Secondary School. In 2020, Life Education Australia commissioned and funded an ACER study into students' perception of the transition into secondary school in Australia. The sharing of information and ideas from students was vital to gain a thorough understanding of contemporary issues faced by students in middle school, the potential gaps in knowledge experienced by students, and students' preferred methods of learning and engagement. The research and data collection was conducted via 82 forums with 444 students across 15 schools. These schools represent a diverse mix of government, Catholic and independent schools in New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia and Western Australia. The research provides an in-depth analysis of a selection of existing transition programs in use in Australian schools. In their 2002 journal article, Voices from Schools, Listening to Students in Transition, Williams and Bowman discussed transition as a two-phase process. Firstly, the transfer phase, moving from primary to secondary school systems, and the orientation phase, acclimatizing to the new school setting. In the school environment, the criteria used to judge the success of transition often vary depending on the perspective, with evidence that teachers in general tend to focus more on academic progress and attainment, while students place more emphasis on the social and emotional factors in the transition process. Many research studies have also found that girls emphasize social and emotional factors more than boys. So what does a successful transition to secondary school look like? Well, it depends on who you're asking. From a teacher perspective, a successful transition to secondary can often be trivialized down to two questions. One, are they doing fine, as in are they averaging a C grade or higher academically? And are they behaving, participating and making friends? However, the main challenges as perceived by students related to school transition included academic schoolwork, managing the new school environment, and social challenges related to both making new friends and dealing with the potential loss of old friends. Self-management skills also included challenges such as the need to increase their self-discipline to cope with the increased responsibilities and challenges that come from being a secondary student. Student responses into factors affecting academic progress during the transition period highlighted several key areas which contrasted to many of their shared primary school experiences. These included less cooperative work, getting used to different ways content was presented, the increased pace of content delivery in high school, and more frequent assessments, all contributing to the stress, anxiety, and general negative emotions. Students also reported difficulty in adjusting to different classroom expectations from different teachers, compared with only a few specialist teachers in primary. Additionally, many students are dealing with new peer groups and friendships in a new environment. These are significant events in the adolescent stage of development, which shouldn't be downplayed. Organisation, time management, and independence are also important factors which can greatly impact students' academic progress in the transition to secondary. Is there too much pressure, real or perceived, on our students to succeed academically right from the start of their secondary school journey? Many middle school and senior secondary teachers would agree that the curriculum is so full or packed that often there is very little time able to be set aside to ease students into the academic year. Having taught the full middle year spectrum and then some on either side from year 3 to year 9, the jump from primary in year 6 to secondary in year 7 is huge, even in composite kinder to year 12 schools. The social and emotional well-being of students and the sense of belonging to school is vital in increasing student engagement and motivation in secondary school. The literature review identified numerous studies which showed a decline in students' feelings of school belongingness after the transition to secondary school. A recent 2017 survey also showed that a decline in Australian students' sense of school belonging was associated with a drop in their school engagement and the valuing of school outcomes. The common saying, You can't teach them if they are not ready to learn is relevant more than ever in this context. Secondary schools, and to a slightly lesser extent primary schools, need to widen the focus to emphasise students' social and emotional well-being in meaningful ways that address student concerns around the transition to secondary school. Schools have a wide range of transition activities, largely due to the different contexts for each school and the perceived student needs for each unique context. The primary school's perspective on transition to secondary often encompasses a single orientation day, coupled with one-off visits from local secondary schools in Year 4 or 5, though mainly for the purpose of encouraging prospective families and students to enrol, rather than as a transition activity. Examples of common transition activities include a Year 7 orientation or transition day, usually held in Term 4, where Year 6 students visit their secondary school for a day to familiarise themselves with their new surroundings and facilities, meeting new peers, teachers and key staff. Other generic transition activities, such as school tours and enrolment interviews, often offer limited support for students after the event. Secondary schools often actively offer transition or induction activities for students, mainly throughout the first half of Term 1, to assist new students in adjusting to their new environment. Schools may look into having a dedicated staff member or transition coordinator. This is different to the Students with Disabilities Coordinator, Deputy Principal or Head of Year 7. Schools may offer a range of pre-transition activities for students and families, such as open days and school tours, exhibition nights, and creative and performing arts program. Even multiple primary school visits to the secondary school, separate to the traditional Year 7 orientation day. There are arguments both for and against preliminary testing prior to the start of Year 7 for streaming purposes or early identification of learning needs of students. However, potential benefits include the students' teachers gaining valuable early data and insights into the students' academic abilities, enabling the school to provide more targeted supports for students where necessary, right from the beginning of the term. The term post-transition should be thought of as including the entire school year, right to the end of Term 4 in Year 7, rather than transition meaning just the physical movement from Year 6 into Year 7. Initial and then further ongoing support throughout Year 7 is crucial to providing a comprehensive program to assist students in making the transition into secondary school. Post-transition activities may include a pre-transition meeting with the homeroom or pastoral care group teacher before the commencement of Term 1. Other opportunities for parents and students to get to know other families in less formal situations, such as a welcome night or meet and greet, as well as the traditional parent information evening. Many secondary schools have a structured peer support program where older students, usually in Year 10 or 11, mentor small groups of Year 7 students throughout the year. A more structured combination of these activities, or similar ones, would provide students and their parents the support needed to ensure a smoother, more successful transition from primary to secondary school. As teachers, we want our students to feel safe, happy, and included at school. Providing support for our students' well-being will naturally lead to better academic progress for all of our students.